Welcome back, everyone, to the program. First, to some of your stories in brief. We begin with the newly sworn-in governor of Bayelsa State, who joined Christian faithfuls in Yenagoa for a Thanksgiving service on his assumption of office. The elated governor, who is accompanied by his wife, affirmed that power indeed comes from God as he calls for an industrial revolution in the state to grow its economy. He also encouraged Bayelsa indigents in diaspora to join him in developing the state. Elsewhere, President Muhammadu Buhari has called on affected communities to leave peacefully in the wake of the latest attacks in Damka and Sanwa villages in Batsara local government areas of Katsina State by suspected bandits that left many dead. Although the president condemned the attack in its entirety, he noted that killing people in the name of revenge is not acceptable. Let's head back to our first story today, coming from the courtroom where the court is sitting on a case brought before it by 30 political parties in Nigeria, aggrieved of the action of INEC to deregister them. Well, we're getting more information that they're saying that this case, which started May 2019, the registration of more political parties was aimed at expanding the political space and not necessarily about winning elections alone. This is coming from the IPEC chairman now, Peter Ame, who insists that 30 states are yet to conduct local government elections. And so, based on their argument, it's illegal for INEC to have deregistered the parties in the first place. And 33 political parties went to court to challenge that deregistration. We have more information from Mr. Peter Ame, who will be joining us via telephone, but we also have on this issue, for more legal perspectives on this matter, Mr. Emmanuel Ayegbolam, who joins us from our Abuja studio. We'd like to thank you for joining us at this time. We don't really know what to make of this judgment coming in from the Federal High Court, bits of information here and there. But what we know for now is that it's a case that started as far back as May 2019. And so far, the court is saying that there's a restraining order for INEC over the delisting of 74 political parties.
Well, it's a very interesting development, actually. But the issue is this. What you have on ground, if you go to alteration of the Constitution, 4th Amendment of 1999 Constitution, as far back as July 2018, that act came into force. The president assented to it. So certain conditions on which political parties will go on, because we have been having problem of them who had no spread. Some of these political parties have not won one election since their inauguration or since their registration. So by that constitutional act, it was an act of the Constitution. By that amendment, if we go by Interpretation Act, and even Supreme Court decision in Hope Democratic Party and P2OB, once the president assents to that, it becomes by operation of the Constitution. I had expected INEC to have struck before now, but all the same, like I said, is an issue that has to do with the Constitution. And the Constitution is the ground norm. The law from where even the court itself has its existence, as well as political parties. So the issue on ground is that having had it by force of the Constitution, well, the political parties have a right to go to court, but all the same, like I said, the Constitution has been amended, and INEC has the constitutional powers and legal or statutory power to do what it has done. That is my submission.
So do we see another case where this might drag up to the Supreme Court as it stands at this moment? And perhaps what are your thoughts on maybe some of their arguments, saying that the registration of more political parties is aimed at expanding the political space and not necessarily about winning elections alone?
Well, the issue, yes, it has a political connotation that we reach ultimately at the Supreme Court. You remember that it was actually the case of INEC and Musa that brought more than 3 political parties to Nigerian terrain. Initially, when we started in 1998 precisely, it was only PDP, then APP then, and Action, and AD, Alliance for Democracy, that was registered because the Constitution insisted that you must have a third political party because AD then did not make the spread. When we continued, along the line, most of these parties, like I have said, are briefcase parties. They have no presence whatsoever. They have never even been in election. You see them once election come, they will line up. And after that, you will not see them. They have not done anything on mobilization or even the main issue of electorate or voters' education and mobilization, which lies within them. They have no ideology, and there is no way we will now have 90 political parties in one ballot box. The last election in one ballot paper, the last election in Kogi and Bayelsa had almost 20-something of them. And apart from the PDP and APC, others have no presence. So what we are saying now is that let these parties go in now. If you have not made any political impact by winning of election, there is no need being there. And even within the context of the ones who are reigning, Imo State is a case in point. Within 1 week of Supreme Court decision on Imo State governorship election, APC with a 0 representation in Imo State House of Assembly, as at the moment is the majority party.
All right.
So where then lies the
Please hold on,
base
Mr. Anyegbolam. Hold on one moment. We're just being told that we have the IPAC chairman, Mr. Peter Ame. He's one of the parties who went to court. Thank you for joining us. He joins us via telephone. Tell us, are you happy with what we're hearing from the Federal High Court on the delisting and saying a restraining order for INEC to pause?
For us, it's not about being happy. The fact is that the Constitution, we needed to defend the spirit and letter of the Constitution in Section 40. Even the Constitution where it says Section 229, when the functions of political party were mentioned, winning election was not part of it. And for the man on TV, your guest there, he has misinformed the public that parties does not have the strength and they only go to endorse. For his information, as the national chairman of PPA, before becoming the chairman of IPAC, the fact remains that our party wants two governorships, one election in 2015, one election in 2011, because the process of the registration even limits the right of Nigerians to associate. Because if you read that Section 40 very well, it says that Nigerians will have the right to belong to an association, to belong to a labor union, or a political party where their rights where interests are protected. When your right is restricted by any law in the Constitution that stands against the spirit and letters of that Constitution, that law is inconsistent as far as the Constitution is concerned. So for us, we are not doing it for ourselves. We are not doing it to make name. We are doing it to protect the interests of the unborn Nigerians, of yet to participate in the political space. Because this space, as fought for by Chief Ganifa Emi, has given people like us a voice. You don't take Nigerian voice away. You don't reduce the space in order to prospect the face. And for the guests there, we must educate him that whether parties are 200 or parties are 300, INEC must still print 84 million ballot papers. Ballot papers are not printed based on numbers of political parties.
We'd like to thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. IPAC National Chairman there joining us via telephone. And Mr. Anyegbolam, just to quickly get your response to what he said, and this is as brief as you can, 30 seconds, because he kept referring to some of your thoughts on the issue.
There is already a constitution. There's already a constitutional amendment, which is a part of the Constitution, like I told you, by the assent of the president. So if he needs additional lecture on party spread and the rest of them on mobilization, then he can engage for that, for those who have time with him.
We appreciate your time, Mr. Emmanuel Anyegbolam, constitutional lawyer. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. Let's share with you the mood at the national headquarters of the All Progressives Congress, APC, where a group called the Concerned APC Youth, led by Agricola Ejembi, demanding the removal of the party's national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole. The group is asking for Mr. Oshiomhole's removal on grounds that the party has lost more states under him, the most recent being that of Bayelsa. Well, that's the show this afternoon. We'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget, join the discussion via our social media platforms at Channels TV at CTV Politics. I'm Millicent Nwonka. I'll see you soon.